Today on Commander Replay, we take our first look at Gerrard Weatherlight Hero in this epic 22-turn war of attrition. Can Gerrard emerge as the hero? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter, and that's Reckless Fable. Reckless, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Also, be sure to check out my GoFundMe for GP Vegas. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Gerrard Weatherlight Hero today, and this is one that I am excited about. Not excited about going last in the turn order, but I am excited about playing this commander. Oh, that's a turn 1 Imperial Seal for the Athreos player. Cool. Anyway, so Gerrard, a new commander out of Commander 19, is 2 red-white for a 3/3 with first strike. It says, whenever Gerrard dies, exile it and return to the battlefield all artifact and creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. So pretty cool little ability. A lot of stuff that you can do with this. Did a whole video talking about it. You guys check that out if you haven't watched it already, but I talk about a lot of the cards and a lot of the ways you might want to build around Gerrard. Today I'm trying to go pretty heavy into the creature combo route. Now we do have a backup plan of also being able to just aggro people down. We do have some nice 5-drops, some flyers and things like that. Sun Titan, Inferno Titan, stuff like that. So when all else fails, we can just swing away. But we are trying to assemble our combos, and there are a number of them with this commander. So that'll bring it to our turn 1. There's an Arid Mesa. I'm going to crack the Arid Mesa right here and just go for a Misfail Plains. We could go for a Sacred Foundry, but since we don't have anything going on, I just like to get the Plains. And I feel okay about our color situation with the Commander Sphere and the Heart of Ramos. Here comes a Grim Monolith for the Athreos opponent. Yep. Now, the one thing with this deck in its current iteration is it's running a little bit light on interaction, which is something that I'm going to need to fix. Opponent's going to 2-mana bounce the Grim Monolith with Cyclonic Rift, so there that goes. Not wanting them to get off to that fast start, and I can appreciate that. But yeah, as I was just saying, the removal is a little bit light in this deck. It's mostly in the form of board wipes, since those synergize with our commander. But a bit more spot removal early in the curve would not be the worst idea to add to this deck. And yeah, there's some of it. There's the Swords of Plowshares. You can keep things from getting too wild, hopefully. We'll play the Plateau right here, and nothing to do with 2 mana, so we'll just pass the turn. We're going to have some choices to make next turn. We can look at Commander Sphere, Imperial Recruiter, or Heart of Ramos, and I'm really not sure which to go for. Imperial Recruiter gets us into Loyal Retainers, which seems like it might be pretty good. I think with Loyal Retainers and a Sack Outlet, that would go Infinite with Aurelia, or maybe we probably need a 3rd creature to do it. Well, actually, I guess Helm goes Infinite with Aurelia. That's a thing that also happens. But that does take a lot of mana to get it into play, so we would need the game to slow down significantly for that. Blue-Red Talisman coming down for the Niv Mizzet opponent, and there's a Scroll Rack. That is a pretty good one. Potentially one that I need for this deck, because if we're trying to combo with Godo, Helm of the Host, we want in the deck and not in our hand, so that is not the best. Here comes a Worn Power Stone for the Bruna. Sure. There's a Mountain. Okay. So we don't have the Sack Outlet yet, which means I think we're just going to go for some mana ramp right here. If we had the Sack Outlet, I'd probably try to just assemble the combo as quickly as possible. But since we do not, I feel like mana production will be key. Also, no real looming threats on board or anything like that right now. Oh, opponent did cast their commander. Athreos is in play, by the way. Nope, here comes a land tax. That's a pretty good one. Ooh, opponent's going to strip mine the Emeria. Okay. Emeria down. Sad face for the Bruna. That is gonna hurt. Opponent's gonna Scroll Rack. Yep. Here comes a Chromatic Lantern for the Niv Mizzet. Great card for that deck, because that deck has some heavy color restrictions with triple blue, triple red. Here comes a Thran Dynamo for the Bruna. So still able to keep their ramp going even though they lost the land along the way. But they are weak to a Vandal Blast type of effect. And we have a lot of board wipes in this deck. I am running both Hour of Revelation and Planar Cleansing, which is super exciting. We've also got Oblivion Stone and Nev Disc. Thought about Scour Glass. We'll see. We'll see. Opponent's going to revoke existence on the land tax. Nice. Ooh, opponent's on 2 lands. Yeah. Shots fired. All right. Opponent's trading some blows with each other. I can get down for that. So we draw a Tithe. That may be helpful in the next turn or so. Luckily, we have a land for this turn, so let's get our Mountain into play. I'm going to go Heart of Ramos into Imperial Recruiter. So cast the Heart of Ramos. This is one that I'm interested in seeing how it plays. I'm not sure if it's really the best for the deck, or if you're just better off with like a Talisman or something in its slot. We'll see. We'll see. If you are in the middle of going infinite, it's probably pretty good, but before that, it may be just a bit slow. But I suppose if we also just, like, need red mana for some reason, need that one extra mana, maybe you're sitting on it to Fairy's Protection and you only left 2 open, something like that, then it'll get you there. So we get to Imperial Recruiter. There's a lot of combos in this deck, so we got to be aware of all of them. I mean, a thing we could do is get Kiki Jiki, and then just, like, continue to copy this thing for a while, which is not the worst. If we go Loyal Retainers, we don't have the sack outlet yet. Yeah, I think I like the Kiki Jiki play right here. Kiki Jiki means more Imperial Recruiters, and that seems like a pretty good place to be. Kiki Jiki plus Aurelia is also insane, if any of you have ever pulled that one off. I once had Aurelia, Hero of Bladehold, and a Kiki Jiki, and that makes life go away. Having 3 Hero of Bladeholds attacking is just utter insanity. Here comes that Grim Monolith for the Athreos, and yeah, they're behind now. Liking all that cheap removal, opponents shooting back and forth at each other. Revoke Existence, one that I've looked at a bunch of times, but never quite pulled the trigger on. If it was instant, I would absolutely be running it. 100%. I tend to run Wear Tear in that spot, but there are many times, and especially in certain metas, where Return to Dust is a bit too slow, and you start looking at things like Disenchant, maybe a Revoke Existence. You really want those cheaply costed artifact and enchantment removal spells. By the way, we should take a look at what our opponents are playing. First up, we have Tyrant of Ruin piloting Athreos, God of Passage. Not sure what particular brand of Athreos they're on right now. I haven't seen any of their creatures yet. But with Imperial Seal and some of these mana rocks, my guess is that they're probably playing just a high-powered Aristocrats build and not the Shadowborn Apostle build. But we'll see. If any of you follow Jolt539's channel, you'll know that Athreos is a pretty strong commander. And once they assemble a couple pieces of that Aristocrats combo, it's really hard to stop. So, oh, hey now. Opponent's going to strip mine our plateau. That seems rude. That doesn't take us off a triple red, so that's good. Oh, that's a Time Twister. All right. I liked our hand, and I'm sure it's going to get worse, but we'll see what happens. Well, that Helm of the Host came back. Wasn't really looking for that. There's a Planar Cleansing. That's a fun one. Smothering Tithe is cool. Soul Ring is cool. So maybe Gerrard Planar Cleansing is probably the plan. Do need to have triple white. The Plateau came back to us. That's nice. Ooh, Scroll Rack. Is that a draw? No, that's a put. Scroll Rack is not a draw. Another thing to think about is this Smothering Tithe. Niv Mizzet may be a Wheels deck, which could be a thing. Here comes Odric. I guess I'm also not entirely convinced that Planar Cleansing would resolve, but we might try it. One's going to put Boots on the Odric. Yep. So now anytime they play any creature, it's going to have haste. Pretty good. There's a Manifold Key. Okay. I may need to look at that for my Akirian Bruce deck. Target creature can't be blocked is pretty good. And then you never know when you need to randomly untap an artifact. Opponent going to swing into us. What did we do? That is rude. We'll take the 3. We draw a Path to Exile if we can. I want to try to leave that up. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. Play the Plateau. It would take 10 mana to get Gerrard plus Planar Cleansing, and we definitely do not have that. I think we can, however, go Gerrard Smothering Tithe. Play Soul Ring. We would need to sack the Heart of Ramos to get the Smothering Tithe. Not sure how I feel about that. Maybe we'll try it. Cast Gerrard. See if this resolves. It does not. However, I do feel pretty good about this Smothering Tithe getting down, so I think I'm going to do that. We're going to crack the Heart of Ramos and get the Smothering Tithe. Opponent going to Scroll Rack, probably looking for the free counter. We'll see. It resolves. Odric will trigger as we go to combat. I'm going to sit back with the 1/1 since Odric attacked us last time. Just in case they slam down something big, I would like to leave blockers up for that, since they do appear to be going our way. Doesn't really seem like the 1 damage we would get in somewhere is going to matter all that much, especially since we're a combo-based deck. So, get our first treasure token off the Smothering Tithe. So far, things are looking good. Also, I like that, just in case Niv Mizzet tries to do the Curiosity combo. Continuing on our opponents, by the way. Second up is Champion of Thune, piloting Niv Mizzet Parun, and this is a Curiosity combo deck, so if you've never faced one of these, it's a very good deck. It is really easy to assemble that combo, and there's about 3 or so ways that you can execute it. So us leaving up a Path to Exile is going to be a really good idea. So I'm very happy to get that first treasure token. Opponent does lay down some mana rocks. They hit both Soul Ring and Mana Crypt, so kind of getting back into it. Ooh, that's an Aura of Silence. Okay. That will slow down and potentially destroy a Curiosity or any of these similar type effects. Doesn't get the tandem lookout, which is another one that does it, but I like that. I'm down for that. We'll make it hard for us to get Helm of the Host into play. And then finally, we have Scientific Squid piloting Bruna the Fading Light, a pretty cool and slightly underrated mono-white commander. When you cast it, you may return target angel or human from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it's pretty big with flying and vigilance. Ooh, opponent. Oh no, opponent shouldn't have done that. Opponent uses the Aura of Silence to shoot the Thran Dynamo. Well, that's going to keep Bruna off of stuff. Surprisingly, they didn't shoot the Smothering Tithe. There's an Arch of Oriska. I picked up a foil one in a trade today. Was very excited about. Opponent getting pretty close to that Niv Mizzet. I'm going to go for a Saheeli first. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Here comes an Izzet Locket. Okay, and they'll get a Saheeli trigger right there. Here comes a Stonehewer Giant for the Bruna. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. It will have haste, and they've got the 2 mana. So they can get themselves an equipment. Hopefully they don't want to come our way. Oh, they moved the boots over. What are they doing? It would have had haste. That is a misplay. You get a Sword and Feast and Famine, you swing into one of those 2 guys, untap all your lands. Yeah, now you're talking. Or a Fire and Ice and start shooting stuff. That is not how you want to use a Stonehewer Giant. Sorry, Squid. I've played a lot of Stonehewer Giant in my day. I'm going to send the Odric at us. Okay. And the Stonehewer Giant into the Saheeli. Okay. Still just going to take the 3. And opponent's going to block the Stonehewer Giant. Yep. Oh, by the way, I did have to delete most of the Wheels and Smothering Tithe plan from this deck. There just wasn't spots in the deck for it. This deck list is really crowded. I ended up with somewhere around 30 creatures, which is typically a little bit higher than I normally run in Boros, just because I always use a lot of things like equipments and stuff, and those take up a number of slots. But yeah, the deck slots for this deck were very, very tight. It was extremely difficult trying to figure out what things I wanted and what would fit. Gerrard is now on 6 mana. We've got 3 treasure tokens, and with the Mana Vault, we can try the Planar Cleansing again, and I think that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, these treasure tokens won't come back if Gerrard does his thing, which makes me a little sad. Play the Plains. Don't need very much red mana. Play the Mana Vault. Play Gerrard. Opponent's going to delay. Question is, do we still want a Planar Cleansing? We can sacrifice the Commander's Fear in response. We would lose the Smothering Tithe. They lose Saheeli, Chromatic Lantern. Yeah, if they lose Chromatic Lantern, they are a long ways away from casting Niv. Problem is, I don't know that we're necessarily set up to win a War of Attrition, right? Yeah, I think we're still going for it. I think we are still just going for it. See if they've got another counter. What are we really losing? We're losing an Imperial Recruiter and some Mana Rocks. Our land situation is about even with our opponents. I think we're doing it. So, make white, sacrifice it, draw a card. That's a Serra Ascendant. Cool. Play Planar Cleansing. Opponent says works for him. I don't know. That's going to get rid of a lot of their stuff. So, Planar Cleansing resolves. The plane has been cleansed. And we've got 1 floating. Let's get a Serra Ascendant with it. Effectively resetting this game. I think Athreos is going to get punished pretty hard since they've missed a lot of land drops. Niv Mizzet is in a bad place. They are 3 red away from casting their commander. Chromatic Lantern is gone, so it will take them many cards to actually get to their commander. Oop, that's an attrition. That's a pretty good one. That is potentially bad news for our Serra Ascendant, but they don't have a creature that can sacrifice yet, so that's good news. I picked up a foil Planar Cleansing in a trade the other day also. Pretty excited about that one. Opponent's going to Everflowing Chalice, and they kicked it 3 times, so going to bump up their colorless mana quite a bit, and they'll tap out and pass. They're down to 2 cards, so I think we are safe to start hitting people with this Serra Ascendant, and that makes me excited. I think I need to add a low converted mana cost creature that brings back artifacts and enchantments in this deck. I'm noticing that a lot of our artifacts and stuff have been getting blown up without Gerrard in play, and that's maybe not the best. We have Sun Titan and we have the White Cavalier, but I know there's some smaller things, I think around 3 mana, that can help us get artifacts and stuff back, so I'm probably going to look into some of those. Oh, that's Marshall's Anthem. Get back to Stonehewer Giant? Did opponent not kick it? I don't think opponent kicked it. Yep, they said they meant to kick it. They did not pay... Oops. I have definitely done that with Kicker. Kicker is a little bit weird on Magic Online. I have cast Josu Vest without kicking it several times. And with that, that'll bring it back to our turn. There's a Solemn Simulacrum. I think... Ooh, what are we doing right here? I thought about the Helm of the Host. Helm of the Host is pretty cool, right? Opponents are low on cards. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Helm of the Host because opponents are low on cards. Okay, one thing I'm going to do here, this is really subtle. I'm going to leave this plateau untapped because it's red and white and doesn't directly signal that we're holding up a path to exile. Just one of those really subtle things about playing. So Helm of the Host into play. We'll play the new Benalia. Take a look and see what's on top. Skull Clamp should be pretty good with the Solemn Simulacrum if we can get it to die. So I think we'll keep that on top. We are looking for ways to draw cards. And I think we get down to the attacking. Helm of the Host, but it's not equipped to anything. So I think we start going into the Niv Mizzet. I have faced Niv Mizzet a number of times. Someone in my local plays one and is extremely powerful. It is the type of deck that you do not want to give any chance to. You don't want to give them any second chances to get back into the game because they will, and they will kill you. So into them we go. We gain 6 up to 39. They go down to 33 and finally getting some damage going in this game. Been a lot of removal flying back and forth. It's turn 8. Everyone's still in the 30s and Bruna's still at 40s. So there's that. Ooh, here comes God Eternal Oketra. That's a pretty good one. We can exile it if we need to, but I really want to hold this path up for Niv Mizzet for when that tries to get into play. I know there's still 3 red away from it, but you never know what crazy stuff can happen. All right, 2 red away. Temple of Epiphany. They'll get to scry. One thing we may... Ooh, yep, we may have to watch out for attrition blowing up our Sarah Ascendant, so getting Helm of the Host equipped is probably going to be a pretty good idea. And we are unfortunately 1 mana short of being able to equip Helm of the Host and Skull Clamp. Sunblast Angel. Really? This is what we're doing? I've taken that card out. For me, it just hasn't been the best. Although, if you're doing the Bruna thing, I get it. It's a nice little tool to have it in the graveyard and cast it when you need it, but it's never been quite as good as I wanted it to. So there's the Skull Clamp. So I guess this turn is going to be play Solemn, get a land. We're actually on 4 plains, but I think we need a mountain. There is a triple red in our deck, so we're going to get a mountain right here. Play the Skull Clamp, equip the Skull Clamp, and opponent passes their turn without doing much. They could have had the decency to attack into our Solemn Simulacrum, but they did not. They do have this Core Haven out, though, so they can prevent damage to themselves, and that seems helpful. Opponent draws at the end step with the Arch, and here comes an Is It Boilerworks. So opponent now on 2 red sources, so we're going to have to start being careful. Ooh, that's a Teferi. All right, well, we're probably going to have to attack that. And that actually does give them the means next turn to get their commander into play if they need to. Opponent's going to draw with the Arch. Yep, getting that card draw. At this point in the game, any way you can find card draw is going to be the path to victory. Unfortunately, Niv Mizzet, very good at drawing cards. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries coming into play. Ooh, got some Planeswalkers. Opponent's going to mill the Athreos player and then draw a card. Yeah, they're getting some card draw going. I mean, I really don't want to attack with this Solemn Simulacrum, but opponent should be able to kill 1 with the Sunblast Angel. Opponent says they drew all lands. Not good. Yep. Do you think opponent would sacrifice an Oketra to blow up this Solemn Simulacrum to prevent the Helm of the Host going on? I wonder. Here's a Mana Vault for opponent. Yep. Opponent can Bruna and get back the Odric, and that's not terrible. Would love to see a high market off the top. That would be super sweet. Or any sack outlet, really. And we've got a number of them. Opponent going to send the Sunblast Angel into the Teferi. I'm all about that. I think that they spent a minute deciding which Planeswalker to go after. I think Teferi is the right call right here. Teferi is the type of thing that wins games, so... Not that Jace is terrible either, but, you know, Teferi is just busted. So opponent swings in, takes down the Teferi. I am all about that. That is in a Dark Art Valkyrie. Ooh. That is cool, but it is unfortunately very slow. So I think we're just going to try the Helm of the Host right here. See if opponents want to respond. Oh, they're going to blow up the Helm of the Host? Really? Oh, we just sank all that mana into it. Oh, man. So much removal this game. We get an Elephant, and Helm will fizzle. I'm just going to stay put and let the Oketra try to take down that Jace. Opponent lays down a Ghost Quarter. That's a pretty good one. Opponent going to send the Oketra into the Jace. I'm all about that. Really? Opponent's going to return to dust on our Skull Clamp and the Everflowing Chalice. Well, that sucks. Needed that. A Sun Titan off the top could do some pretty crazy stuff. Also wouldn't say no to the White Cavalier. Red Cavalier, any lands in graveyard? No lands in graveyard, but the Red Cavalier wouldn't be awful either. It's not amazing, but it'd be fine in this scenario. But yeah, Sun Titan's looking pretty good. Here comes Bruna. It's going to bring back the Odric Lunarch Marshal. Yup. That's going to be flying on Vigilance on all their creatures. Oh, I think Niv Mizzet's got other plans. See what they got going. Just going to draw a card with the Arch. Probably checking to see if it's counter. The fact that Bruna is a cast trigger is so interesting. Like, it's so cool because it gets around counter spells, but so bad because you can't just ETB it a million times and blink it and do all that stuff, especially that white has. So it's a little bit frustrating in that sense, but it is cool that if you're playing against blue, that they need some very specific counters to be able to stop the creature and the ability. So opponent goes to combat, Odric's going to trigger. That's going to be flying and vigilance on everything. Only one available attacker, though, but it's still a 5/6 flyer that... and they're going to send that over to Niv Mizzet. That is definitely the correct call right here. So the thing with the Niv Mizzet deck, the longer the game goes, much like this one, they're just getting closer and closer to assembling their combo. And, you know, they found ways, even just using this arch, to find more ways to draw cards, putting them ahead of pretty much everyone else at the table. That's a Wheel of Fortune. Oh, the questions. So shooting a Ketra means that opponent may not have... I'm going to go for the Adarkar Valkyrie right here before the wheel. This is a combo piece, and if we wheel into other combo pieces, then we win the game. So I don't want to just wheel that one away and toss it into the bin. Plus, no one else has resources at the moment. Odric will trigger. So Wheel of Fortune will give them resources, and there's always some chance that you just draw worse than your opponents when you're in a situation like this one. So that is the thing we want to be careful of. We want to be very well set up to use that Wheel of Fortune, I think. We're going to keep the Solemn Simulacrum back because that card draw would be absolutely massive at this point in the game, so we'll send in the token to the Niv Mizzet. And one thing we have to think about, too, is that there is a Core Haven right here, which I talked about earlier. Just trying to send single attacks into the Athreos player may not be super effective. Oh, that's an Exquisite Blood. That seems bad. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. All right. So, and that turns Athreos into a creature. We're going to send both the Ketra and the Athreos into the Niv Mizzet, so if they don't have interaction, they're going to be losing a lot of life right here. That's going to be a hit for 11. Exquisite Blood's going to trigger. Yup. When it goes up to 47 life, that's going to be a little bit of a mountain to climb. And Niv Mizzet all the way down to 13. They are hurting. But that's the type of deck that only needs 1 life to win a game, so opponent now on 3 red mana, they can cast their commander. There's a Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Ooh, that's a Contagion Engine. Where does opponent point this? If I were opponent, I'd probably just go for Niv Mizzet right there. It's a decent flying blocker, it can't be countered, and people do anything, you start drawing cards. Ooh, opponent puts it on the Athreos and the God Eternal Oketra. So not interested in what they have to offer. Maybe they're just worried about the fact that with attrition out, they can just shoot their commander the second it comes into play. That's probably what they're thinking about. So Oketra down to an 0-3 and Athreos now a 2-1. Blah. Opponent is going to attrition on our Adarkar Valkyrie. It's going to be an Athreos trigger and the God Eternal Oketra trigger. That's all super annoying. Opponent puts the Oketra into their library third from the top. So I think they might have misused the triggers right there. Opponent says, why would I pay for what you get back anyway? Yep. So Valkyrie going down. Yep, opponent said he ordered the triggers incorrectly. Yep. So Bruna gets to untap. They can do some damage to people. They've got 15 damage available to them. Opponent's going to Steel Shaper's Gift. Ooh, yeah, that can be good. Card draw is probably the one you want, like a Mask of Memory. Fire and Ice would also be very solid right here. Goes for a Black Blade Reforged. Yep, that works too. Not a ton of lands in play. A lot of lands been getting blown up this game. Also, a lot of people missing land drops. Yep, opponent's going to put the Black Blade Reforged on the Bruna. Bruna's now got 13 power. Odric will trigger. Opponent spreads the damage around. So Bruna going into the Athreos, Sunblast Angel into us, and Odric into the Niv Mizzet. We're not going to choose blockers, but because I'm planning to wheel, I'm just going to use the Path to Exile anyway and save the damage that's coming into us. Maybe we shoot the Odric. Yeah, it's probably not worth the 5 damage. I'll shoot the Odric afterwards. So Exquisite Blood will trigger. We will Path to Exile on the Odric. That'll bring it back to our turn. There's a Tithe. I think we just wheel. Give up on the Tithe. We draw Kiki Jiki, Hour of Revelation, Ranger Captain of Eos. Yeah, ooh, Revelark. We draw a Revelark. Revelark is a very good one. Revelark is also a flying blocker. Those are things to think about. Let us get the... Ooh, Kiki Jiki on Solemn Simulacrum is also something to think about. That exiles, right? Ooh, that's a sacrifice. Yeah, definitely Kiki Jiki on the Solemn Simulacrum is where we're going to be. Play this Battlefield Forge, cast Kiki Jiki. Exquisite Blood will trigger due to the life loss from the Painland. Kiki Jiki on Solemn Simulacrum. Solemn Simulacrum comes in, that'll get us a land. Let's get a Plains. I think Amari's in this deck. Send everything into the Niv Mizzet player, and opponent will continue to gain a bunch more life. We'll just try and let the Bruna take them down. And Solemn Simulacrum gets sacrificed at the end step. We get to draw a card. That is a cute little combo right there. There's a Strip Mine. If we don't get wheeled at all, that'll be helpful against this Core Haven. Here comes the Knight of the White Orchid. Opponent's going to attrition on our Kiki Jiki. That makes me sad. If we evoke Revelark, oh, we would need a sack outlet, right? Yeah, we would need a sack outlet. So opponent targets the Niv Mizzet, and so they get back the Knight of the White Orchid. Now they're going to shoot down the Bruna, so Bruna's going to go down. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we can get wild with Revelark and Kiki Jiki right here. Actually, oh no, because we need to sacrifice Revelark to get Kiki Jiki back to play. But if we do that, Obnixilis the Hate Twisted. Whenever an opponent draws a card, deals 1 damage to that player. That is spicy. Let's see if they just send the Athreos in to kill the Niv Mizzet. Opponent's going to use the ability to destroy target creature. Its controller draws 2 cards. Well, white deck getting all the draw now. And opponent's going to gain more life off of that. Opponent doesn't attack. Oh my god, they're letting the Niv Mizzet untap.
Hi, I'm PJ from Commander Replay. You might remember me from such films as Nobody Wants to Play with Hyper-Aggressive Edgar Markov, or A Bunch of Crazy Things to Do with Helm of the Host. I'd like to take a little mid-video break to talk about the play we just saw, and why you should never ever do that in a game of Commander. Okay, all impressions aside, so when you have a high power combo deck at a table and you let them untap like that, you are basically setting yourself up for failure. There are a lot of ways that they could have just won the game. Let's say they miracled into a Devastation Tide, game's over. Let's say they overload a Cyclonic Rift at a really inopportune time for everyone else, and then they set their win up for their next turn. There's a lot of ways they could have broken out of that spot that they were in, and it's just not worth taking that risk of letting them untap when you know they can just win the game, and you have a way to kill them on board. And even more so because the other players at the table didn't have crazy stuff going on that was insurmountable to the Athreos player. So there are definitely times where someone else at the table is stronger and you can't take them by yourself. So you basically get into an archenemy situation. This was not that. The Athreos was on relatively equal footing to everyone else in the game. So it just doesn't make any sense for them to leave the Niv Mizzet player in the game, especially once you consider how strong of a deck Niv Mizzet actually is. So set yourself up for success. Whenever you have the opportunity to take a really strong deck out of the game, be sure to do so. And yeah, with that, let's get back to the gameplay.
Opponent draws 1 card and loses a life. So now we just have to hold our breath. Opponent's gonna proliferate the Contagion Engine. So that'll kill the Athreos. It's good, that'll be annoying. That means they'll have to recast. Ooh, opponent does have a Cabal Coffers in play. Opponent has 5 swamps, so Cabal Coffers is profitable right now. It's not crazy good, but something we'll want to think about. Here comes a Mana Crypt for the Niv Mizzet, living risky at 1 life. Here comes a Mana Vault. Yep, have to pay for that if they want to survive. Here's a Mind Stone. There's an Astral Cornucopia. There's a Rhystic Study. There's a Brainstorm. This'll kill them. And 3 triggers on the Obnixilis. So down they go. All right. They didn't combo off, thank God. I have watched that deck win too many times. Not specifically Champion of Thune's deck, but I've seen a number of them, and it's just a really strong deck and finds ways to win against all odds. My buddy Dave plays one in my local, and I resolved a Sadistic Sacrament for 3, exiling 3 cards from his library, hitting all of his Curiosity pieces, and he still found a way to win. I think it was the Dramatic Reversal combo. It may have been a Paradox Engine in there. It was still legal at the time, but yeah, that deck just finds ways to win. Opponent's gonna bring back Sunblast Angel, and that'll get our 2 creatures right here. We'll get to draw off the Solemn Simulacrum. Not the worst thing. There's an Austere Command. I'm thinking about it. There's 2 enchantments. Also thinking about this Hour of Revelation. Problem is that with our creatures going down right there, we're only on 8 non-land permanents right now. Okay, there's 9. That's a Mesmeric Orb. Which means we can just like cast Revelark and then cast Hour Revelation and do some wild stuff. If we mill a Karmic Guide, things are going to get crazy. So it comes back to our turn. Mesmeric Orb is going to mill us a bunch. Knight of the White Orchid, Recruiter of the Guard, Mother of Runes, Blasphemous Act. Oh, there's a Godo. Exquisite Blood's going to trigger. Yep. So a bunch of interesting things going into the graveyard. Cavalier into the graveyard. Don't have a way to pull it out yet. So if we play Revelark, that'll make the 10th permanent that we need to get the cost reduction on Hour Revelation, which is probably what I'm going to do. And then after that, probably get back the Kiki Jiki and the Imperial Recruiter. Unless, of course... Ooh, Knight of the White Orchid is out there, huh? Trying to recur Knight of the White Orchid isn't going to be that fruitful. So I think we're on the Revelark plan. So there's Revelark. Play Hour Revelation. Revelark will get us 2 creatures back. We're still at 30. We could also get Sarah Ascendant, but I think it's going to be Kiki Jiki. Get Kiki Jiki. get Imperial Recruiter. Imperial Recruiter comes in, is going to trigger. What are we grabbing? Karmic Guide. We are 100% grabbing Karmic Guide. So we now have a Karmic Guide. We'll only have 2 mana up. I think this is going to be the time to Strip Mine, so play a Strip Mine. Strip Mine this Cabal Coffers. Make a copy of the Imperial Recruiter with the Kiki Jiki. We can get ourselves another card. Stoneforge Mystic isn't terrible. The core is fine. Loyal Retainers is part of a combo. Don't have the sack outlet yet, but missing the sack outlets all game. And the Remorseful Cleric, I think, is actually a good pickup. 2 graveyard-based decks right here, so yeah. Opponent's going to Swords on our Kiki. Oh, that makes me sad. Well, at least we got one use out of it. I guess that's also better than them getting Karmic Guide, but... Send the Imperial Recruiter into the Athreos for 1, and the token will get sacrificed at the end step. Opponent's going to Ghost Quarter our Misveil Plains. Yeah, that's annoying. I had plans for that. I was going to eventually try to cycle Helm of the Host back to the bottom and then use Godo to grab it. But we do get a Plains out of it, so we actually don't lose a land, which is cool. I'm down for that. We've now got 2 open mana. Here comes that God Eternal Oketra back to play. Yep. And here's the Knight of the White Orchid. Yeah, that'll get them that land back that they just lost. Ooh, and they get a 4/4 out of the Oketra. Okay. That's something. Opponent's going to reanimate. What are they grabbing? Ooh, the Cavalier of Dawn. That seems bad. Non-land permanent. Okay, we've only got 1 non-land. Well, there's only 1 target in play. It's got to be our Recruiter. Oh, no, they're going to blow up their Knight of the White Orchid. Okay. Knight of the White Orchid down. They get themselves a 3/3. That seems suspicious. That's definitely going to be a call for Remorseful Cleric to come in next turn. Oh, opponent might be doing that so that we can't get our sack outlet back. That would make a lot of sense. What we do have, though, we have this Homeward Path in play, so... We can play the Homeward Path, and then we can... Yeah! Oh, it's going to make me so happy to fizzle that reanimate. Darksteel Ingot for the Bruna opponent. Ooh, here comes Angel of Serenity. Let's see what they go after. Not the Cavalier of Dawn. Nice, it doesn't go after the Cavalier. All right. Ooh, opponent's about to get wrecked right here. So opponent losing 3 of their things, 2 of which are tokens, so those aren't coming back. And we're going to steal the last one back to our side of the board. I am excited about this. We draw a land. Okay. Play the Homeward Path. Play... Well, before we forget, let's just activate the Homeward Path. Make sure we don't mistap our mana in any way. That could be a problem for that. Play the Karmic Guide. Get back Revelark. Revelark is in play. Let's get this Remorseful Cleric. And we can get in 4/1. So we pass back to opponent. Let's see what they got. Recast their Athreos. Okay. Yep. That is a start to things. Just of note, this God Eternal Oketra is still under the Angel of Serenity, so it's not actually in play. That's a Day of Judgment. Okay. We are going to get some triggers on that. So I guess we Remorseful... Ooh, who do we Remorseful Cleric? Sunblast Angel has been kind of annoying for us, but opponent doesn't have a lot of other stuff in their graveyard, so yeah, definitely go for the Athreos player, because black decks and reanimation, yeah. We get a Revelark trigger. We can bring a bunch of stuff back. Let's grab the Karmic Guide. And the... Do we grab Imperial Recruiter? Sarah Ascendant will give us damage. That one's cool. Yeah, I guess Imperial Recruiter. Keep searching for stuff. Our Cavalier's going to die. We're going to get the Ashnod's Altar. And now we should be able to start doing some stuff. In fact, with Karmic Guide, Revelark, and the Altar, that is infinite. We can bring back many of the things in our graveyard. So Imperial Recruiter and Karmic Guide come back in. We'll get back the Revelark. What are we grabbing out of our deck? Guess we get the Loyal Retainers? Revelark is back to play, and Angel of Serenity will return the cards to their owner's hand. Opponent says about the 1,000,003 set? Yup, turn 14. Opponent recasting their Bruna. Ooh, gonna get the Angel of Serenity. Oh, that's bad. Well, that probably forces us into Austere Command. Yep, going for all 3 of our creatures. Revelark's gonna leave play, so definitely Remorseful Cleric. Maybe Solemn Simulacrum for the land? Sarah Ascendant would give us the beats. Yeah, I think Solemn Simulacrum for the land. I just feeling like I need a little bit more land than what we've got going. Get a land, grab a plains, 3 basics remaining in the deck now. I can't tell what's under the Angel of Serenity and what's not. Okay, there we go. The Remorseful Cleric is not under the Angel. That's an Urabrask. Urabrask is cool. Urabrask Godo Smash? Maybe? Let's get the sack outlet in. Sacred Foundry... Where is Sacred Foundry? Is that in the graveyard or no? Sacred Foundry should still be in the deck, so play the Windswept Heath, crack the Windswept Heath. Yep, get Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Let's get Urabrask. Let's get the sack outlet in here, because then if we get our commander next turn, I'm going to cast the Ranger Captain of Eos, and I may sack this during our opponent's turn. So Ranger Captain will come in. See what we can tutor for with that. We got Flamekin Harbinger and Weathered Wayfarer. Flamekin doesn't do much. Revelark has already been taken. And I guess we just play the Weathered Wayfarer right here. So let's go to combat. Send everything except the Remorseful Cleric. We want to leave up some flying blockers. Opponent says, red-white card draw. Looks like I figured it out. We've got the value engine going. The only thing I'm worried about now is just getting blown out by, people going bigger than us. Because each of these pieces are individually small to medium-sized. And opponent's got some pretty big angels over there. So we do have to be careful. And we will pass the turn like that. So next turn, Commander and Loyal Retainers, and I think we are off to the races. Oh, I meant to stop on opponent's upkeep. Crap. Okay, here comes Oketra. Opponent's got 4 mana left. I guess, ooh, comes in tapped. Nice, Urbrask. Love me some Urbrask. But I guess we'll hold on to the Ranger Captain for just a second. Hope we don't get punished for not sacrificing it. Okay, it's a Merciless Executioner. Not getting punished for it. Opponent will get a 4/4, also comes in tapped. Merciless Executioner with Oketra seems pretty good. Also in an Athreos deck. So sacrifice trigger. Opponent sacrifices their Merciless Executioner. It's going to be the Solemn Simulacrum for us. We'll get to draw Angel of... Ooh, opponent sacrifices the Angel of Serenity. Gives us back our stuff into our hand. Now we've got combos to work with. Just need to find like Impact Tremors or Perforos or something, and we are golden. We get to draw a card. There's Ranger of Eos. And Revelark, Karmic Guide, and Imperial Recruiter all coming back. Opponent puts the Athreos trigger on the Bruna. So, I think the worst thing that the Bruna opponent can do to us is cast non-creature spells. So, I think we're going to sacrifice the Ranger Captain of Eos right here and prevent all of that. If they want to lay creatures out there, I'm fine with that. We have a board wipe for it. So, yeah, on opponent's upkeep, we're going to sacrifice this Ranger Captain of Eos. Make sure there's no board wipes coming. Ooh... Can't pay life or sacrifice creatures. Oh, really? Oh, man. This thing? Got us. Oh, I should have sacrificed the cleric in response. Okay. So now the plan is cast our commander and wipe the board. Bruna into the Oketra opponent. There's a fetch land. Play the plains. Cast our commander. Oh, it's going to be a lot. Oh, tell me we're 1 short on the... Yep, I think we're 1 short. We are, in fact, a 1 short. We cannot use the Ashnod's Altar to sacrifice things. That makes me sad. What does Karmic Guide do for us right now? I know what Karmic Guide does. It gets us the Cavalier. Where's the Cavalier at? Cavalier is cool. Recruiter, Mother, Knight of the White Orchid. Valkyrie is pretty... Ooh, Valkyrie with haste? Valkyrie with haste is really cool. But that means we still need to get rid of the... Yeah, okay. So I think we're on Karmic Guide for Cavalier. I should have blinked Solemn Simulacrum a few more times somewhere along the way. Or I guess I could have gotten Ancient Tomb with this thing. So get the Cavalier. Cavalier to play, shoot the Angel of Jubilation. Now we've got a bunch of colorless mana, but that's not like the most helpful for us. Send the non-flyers into Athreos. Ooh, opponent's going to return to dust on our Ashnod's Altar. Really? More removal? I really thought we were past all of this. What's the other one on? Not even a second target? Ugh. Sack Outlet gone. Opponent takes a hit, goes down to 23, and we'll pass turn like that. We are pretty well protected from a board wipe right now. Gonna need some really specific ones to not recur our whole little value engine. The removal this game. So much removal. There's a Oh, that's a Scavenger Grounds. That's bad. That is bad. I think most of Outpost Sieges in the graveyard, that's not amazing. Command the Dreadhorde. Choose any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers in graveyards. Deals damage to you equal to the total number of those cards, then put them onto the battlefield under your control. Opponent is basically gonna force us to sacrifice our own graveyard. Yep, guess that's what we're doing. I'm not giving opponent all my stuff. So Fizzle's Command the Dreadhorde, that's a 6 mana play, has now gone down the drain. And we just don't need to be that cautious around the Scavenger Grounds now. And actually, well, to some degree, maybe we do, but if opponent just taps it out now because our graveyard's gone, we still have Revelark in hand, which there's nothing to get back, but if we let the Karmic Guide go, we can get back to doing some business. Yep, there they go, they tapped it. They're going to play a Cabal Console of Allocation. Ooh, Bruna gets to untap with their graveyard. I didn't realize that we haven't blown up their graveyard at any point. Here comes the Lyra Dawnbringer. Yep, that's a good one. That's going to be good for a life race. Will come in tapped. Still gives lifelink, though. Oh, opponent's got this Core Haven up. They can survive another turn. Ugh, man. We need to get them out of this game. Oh, Bruna's going to swing our way. Really? Really, this is what's going down. Might as well block with Karmic Guide. So Karmic Guide soaks up the damage. Brings back to our turn, we draw another land. We are basically out of basics. Play this Bloodstained Mire. Crack this Bloodstained Mire. Get a mountain. Not even sure there's planes left in the deck, honestly. I think Godo Skull Clamp, or, well, let's see if there's anything better. There aren't a ton of equipments in this deck, and most of the better ones are gone. Godo with Cavalier should be able to do, hopefully, enough damage. Use the ability. We got Mask of Memory and Hammer of Nazan. Skull Clamp is gone. Guess it's gonna be Hammer. Probably didn't do this the right way, honestly. Hammer on the Weathered Wayfarer, I guess? Let's Austere Command. Go big creatures and small creatures. Cabal will trigger. We should have tried to get the Loyal Retainers in first, is the thing that we should have done. And opponent's gonna put some Athreos triggers on us. I will happily pay that life. So the first one in there is Oketra. Oketra will go, yeah, I'm just gonna pay the life. Pay the life. Oh my god, I didn't send our commander to the graveyard. Oh my. Wow. 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 Yep, that hurts. That hurts. That was a big punt. Forgot to change the zones. Good old Magic Online does not check when the card leaves play. You have to do it beforehand. And we go down to 14 after the triggers. There's a Blind Obedience. Yep. There's a Phyrexian Arena. Where did our Karmic Guide go? Oh, there it is. We found it. Oh, opponent's going to exile the graveyards. Awesome. Awesome. So cool. That also, well, at least that also hurts Bruna quite a bit. I don't think there's too much left to get with Ranger Vios and Imperial Recruiter, but we can always try. I wish I put the hammer on the Urabrask. Here comes Bruna for no value. Flamekin Harbinger, well, that was the thing I was going to go grab with the Ranger, so I don't know if that's going to work out so good. I guess play the Imperial Recruiter, see what's left. Imperial Recruiter comes in tapped. Stoneforge Mystic, Selfless Spirit, Core Cartographer. Let's go for the Stoneforge Mystic. Play the Stoneforge Mystic. It comes in tapped. Get the Mask of Memory. Play the Mask of Memory. Well, Hammer is on still in play, so we get a free equip. That's cool. Play the Marsh Flats. Crack the Marsh Flats. Find out if there's a plains left. There may not be. One plains. Last one. Alright. Go to combat. Swing in 4-3. Opponent will Fog with the Core Haven. Yep. Makes me sad. Play... I guess play Revelark. Play... Ooh, Flamekin can get us the Red Knight. The Red Knight is not terrible. Forgot about that. Less good with the... Yeah, there's Cavalier Dawn. Put that on top. Why not? And I guess we pass like that. A little bit open to Bruna right here, but what can you do? Opponent's going to lose life to the Phyrexian Arena. Got Eternal Oketra coming back. Yep, there's an Extort trigger. Opponent will Extort. Brings it back to Bruna's turn. We're going to have to be careful with them. Bruna going to go into the Athreos. Hopefully they forget about their Core Haven. That's what I'm hoping on. Nope. Opponent's going to revoke existence on our Mask of Memory. Oh, man. Revoke existence back. We draw the Red Cavalier. Let's play the Ranger of Eos, see if there's anything left. Also, didn't use my lands. Nope. Nope. No legal targets. That makes me sad. Play the Cavalier. Cycle the Loyal Retainers. We get a Boros Charm. That's something. Let's move the hammer to the Revelark. Oh, we didn't leave up mana for Boros Charm. Whoops. We don't really have profitable attacks because we need to leave up blocks. So that makes me sad. Oh my, yeah, the punts are starting to pile up. We are over 2 hours into this game, and things falling apart. That big punt with the zones. There's a Westvale Abbey. I can make tokens. That's a problem for us. We don't have... Opponent's going to Path on our Revelark. Not amazing. Not amazing. Use Path Exile ability. One last basic. Get that mountain. Revelark will leave play. We will get a Loyal Retainers. A Cavalier... Ooh, I forgot the Cavalier Flame does give our whole team fire breathing. That is helpful. Opponent gonna swing our way. Yep, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna be about half our life. No blocks. True Conviction would be sweet. We get some lifelink going. Don't think it's in the deck, though. So we go down to 6. That Blind Obedience making me pretty nervous. Let's use the Weathered Wayfarer. So we have way more lands than our opponent. We cannot activate the Weathered Wayfarer at this time. There's a Scry Temple. Play the Scry Temple. Goblin Bombardment is a card. Keep that on top. Do we have a way to draw it? Not that I can see. There's a lot of ways that Bruna could kill us. Like, a lot of ways. I think the plan is going to be turn everything sideways against the Athreos opponent. And just hope for the best. Yeah, there's literal nothing we can block with. Send everything into the Athreos. They're going to Core Haven our Cavalier. Okay. See how they block. They're going to make a token with Westvale Abbey first. Okay. Gives them an additional blocker. Okay, so I think only 3 of them are getting through. We gotta pump a lot of mana into this. That's 18. I think they're gonna survive. I should have used the Boros Charm on something. That's what I should have done. Stoneforge Mystic goes down. Yep, opponent survives at 2. So Phyrexian Arena trigger, and opponent survives at 1. Oh my god. The punt. Opponent's going to play a Tithe Taker. There's the Extort trigger. Opponent cracks the Canopy Land. Yep, opponent's going to send Athreos into us, and this will kill us. So that 1 punt looming so large. Oh, it's frustrating. Yep, should have double strike something there right at the end. Take our opponent down. We'll see what Bruna has. I mean, they may have had 6 damage. There's no guarantee that we survive just because we take down the Athreos. Yep, opponent's going to keep swinging. They need to draw something. And they prevent the damage. No other action from the Bruna. Who knows what they've been sitting on. Here comes Mana Vault. Yep. Extort trigger. Opponent sending in a big attack into the Bruna. They can block a little bit, but it's going to hurt a bit. Unless they've got something. It's going to block the Tithe Taker. Athreos will trigger. Afterlife will trigger. Bruna goes down to 18. They're going to need something big. Lightning Greaves would do it. Lightning Greaves are in their exile, so that's not going to be the one. Champion's Helm, or maybe a Swiftfoot Boots? Nope, Swiftfoot Boots also in exile. Champion's Helm is going to have to be that one. Or a Strip Mine or Ghost Quarter. There's a Wayfarer's Bauble, that's not going to do it. Comes in tapped. Soul Ring also comes in tapped. Opponent can probably survive for 1 more turn. It's going to get rough after that, though. So, opponent prevents the damage coming in from the Bruna. Phyrexian Arena and Mana Vault will trigger. Mana Vault is untapped. Opponent down to 2. Oh, that's a Grave Pact. That is bad news for the Bruna opponent. That means you pretty much have to take the damage right here and hope to find something to get there on the other side. Ooh, that's a Cruel Celebrant. Yep. No sack outlets for opponent currently. Oh, maybe there is with Westvale Abbey. Once they have 5. Oh, no, they do. They have a Mana Vault. They can flip the Westvale Abbey, and that would probably do it. They do not decide to do that. Opponent's down to 13. Oh, opponent's in a bad spot now. Yeah. Unless they've got something good in hand, they are just about out of it. Settle the Wreckage would get them pretty good, but no, it looks like they're going to blocks. Opponent survives at 3. Nothing dies. Okay, they've got 1 last chance. Opponent can flip Westvale Abbey in response, though. There's a Seraph Sanctuary. Whisper Silk Cloak would do it. Opponent gains 1 life. Mana Crypt? Nope, that's not the one. Opponent saying GG, so Athreos gonna get there. Oh, that's so frustrating. They should have been dead. Opponent gonna Core Haven the Bruna once again, and yep, this should do it. There's a Go for the Throat. So Go for the Throat, taking down the Bruna. Opponent sending in everything. This should do it. And down the Athreos takes it. So yep, that probably should have been our win. Big punt by not changing the zones right there. That's a big issue. MTGO does not handle that particularly well. You have to remember to do it before it leaves play, which is super frustrating. So we got hosed pretty bad right there. I think we win the game if that doesn't happen. Because Athreos should be dead, and then Bruna didn't have much after that, and we just keep swinging into them until they die. But I thought the deck performed really well. We got to see a good chunk of it. Maybe I need to shore up a couple things. Maybe a few more ways to get artifacts out of the graveyard wouldn't be terrible. I noticed we had trouble actually keeping our commander in play. So much removal flying this game. So that made it really difficult for everyone. Basically, everyone was in a bad spot all game. But once our values started kicking in, we were able to do some things. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.